Ever driven a widowmaker? Let's talk about the Hayabusa. Welcome, this is your boy Mr. G. You're at Essential G, and this is the Road to Freedom series. Because it's not where you're going, it's how you get there. This is how I'm getting there. And I'm doing a series on the different ways that I got there. What bikes did I own? What vehicles did I own since I started riding again? Now, I didn't start this channel when I first started riding, so there's no footage of some of the stuff I'm discussing, which is a shame. So if you heard the Honda Silverwing story, then you're now ready for the Suzuki Hayabusa story. So the Suzuki Hayabusa is a strange machine. To say it's a widowmaker is an understatement. Essentially, especially because I bought a used one. Don't buy used sport bikes of any type, because the guy that had it before you beat the snot out of it, and probably something's wrong with it. So like on the Hayabusa, there was a day where my clutch just fell off into my left hand. I had to tighten it with I had to put it back together, put it in, and which wasn't that hard, and tighten it back, the screw back up. I had actually found the screw a little bit away from where I stopped that had fallen out, and I tightened it. I didn't have a tool with me, and I used I want to say a dime or a nickel to tighten it, and drove it straight to the dealer. Now, Suzuki doesn't make junk bikes. It's just that sport bikes get beat up, especially the clutch on a Hayabusa, because it has about a 1/16 of an inch of play in the throttle, and any movement past that, and the bike takes off and doesn't care whether you're still on it or not. The rear brakes are non-existent. It's not like a linked braking system if you get the older ones. I don't know about the new ones. You basically only have a front brake. The front brake is adequate, not great. And basically you use the engine braking to slow the bike. It's a boatload of fun, but I'm only like 5'6", so I'll go over things I didn't like about it. It was too tall for me. Slow turns, you'd think you were going to drop it, especially if you were taking a turn on that big boat and you missed, second gear and hit neutral. You're going too slow, you're dropping that. And then to ride it at my height, because of my reach, I basically laid my belly down on the tank and then had to use my neck and lats and back traps to hold my helmet up high enough that I could see. And that was like really the only way I could ride. Now there's something to be said for that. It's a really cool experience. When you duck down onto the tank of a Hayabusa, you're behind this very low, extremely sloped windshield, and while the bike is not great with winds that hit you from the side, and winds will move the bike on the highway, going in a straight line on a decent day, that's quite something, because you just suddenly tuck down into this quiet, and then you're left with like all this power. Now let me just say something about the power. I grew up riding wheelies around my entire development on my Schwinn and whatnot. I rode mopeds through the woods and dirt bikes, and most of the boys I grew up with, like, they knew how to handle things on two wheels. My experience with the Hayabusa, when I would duck down into it like that, was that no matter what I thought I was brave enough and willing enough to handle, speed-wise, the bike was not impressed with me and had way more to offer than I was willing to deal with. Just to put it in perspective, the engine braking is extremely poor, and it's hard to ride slow because of it. Until you're doing about 73 miles per hour, which is above every speed limit that I live near, the bike, it doesn't have any smoothness in its transmission, because it's made to go 200 miles per hour in a straight line. So the lower gears just are not tolerating you trying to casually cruise along down the street. Your back is going to hurt, your neck is going to hurt until you build up those muscles. I did a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so had a very strong neck and upper back. I was okay, but I would come off like, wow, that was more of a workout than I thought. Your wrists are going to hurt you, because if you try to not lay down on the bike, then you're going to have to put all your weight on your wrists. Now you're trying like to put your wrist down real soft and then hold yourself up with your abs and your back, but inevitably you're going to put weight on them. I eventually couldn't take it anymore. I found myself not on really, really nice days where I could ride my Hayabusa to work. I would take my car. It just was like, I have no storage. I'm strapping a book bag to my back, and I'm completely uncomfortable. Only willing to ride maybe to work because it was 30-minute drive, but it was stop and go traffic, and low gears on that thing were just horrendous. And so, you only really want to keep it long enough to go obnoxiously fast a few times. So when I finally had gone obnoxiously fast enough was, it's a situation like this, a red light is coming up on me, traffic was over there, and I was doing what most people on a Hayabusa are tempted to do. I was way further back than this, and I saw that their light was going to turn red, and I thought to myself, well, I can make it. And I dropped a gear and gunned the bike, almost lost the bike out from underneath of me, because of the amount of power it has, even though I was ready for it. And I barely made it through the light, and two vehicles came probably within like a foot and a half of clipping me. And then I had like a little reality check. Of course, I'm on the other side of that light, having to slow down first. And the reality check was, for me, was, are you going to stop doing that? And I thought to myself, no,